Welcome everyone to our third and final episode of Campaign Countdown for Matt Trin's comic MacKinnon Chronicles, now funding on Indiegogo and just successfully funded on Kickstarter. Really excited to talk to you, man, and I know we've had a few of these before, but it's really awesome to see you reach your goal on Kickstarter. So first of all, congratulations there up front.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been a wild ride.
I bet, man. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm sure we'll get more into it. Your experiences, running both platforms. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool. Like we said, the campaign ended, I think, earlier this morning, I believe.
Yesterday night
yesterday.
at about 8:21.
Okay, yeah. So last night, and yeah, I mean, you guys have reached your goal, over the goal, and so that was really awesome, man. So
yeah, 170% funded.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now with the Indiegogo, we have 2 days left on the Indiegogo, and they still need more support there. I believe that's probably where is it around 50% right now.
Yep, and I have to say, anyone who's listening who wants to back MacKinnon Chronicles on Indiegogo, I was very disappointed that we didn't get to 1701 on the Kickstarter. So maybe we can get to it on Indiegogo.
That'd be pretty cool. Yes, definitely.
By the way, you know what 1701 means?
I actually don't. Is it what kind of? I figured it was
Enterprise,
but I wasn't. Okay. I was like, okay, I feel like that's something I should know, but I'm failing right now. Well, that's pretty. That would be pretty awesome, wouldn't it? It would probably be perfect. If you get to 1700, I'll go and throw that $1 in there just so you get that, make it perfect there for you.
Oh, that'd be great.
But no, I mean, that's really cool. Like you said, it looks like you're 53%. So of course, most people know this who watch these programs, but for those who don't, Kickstarter and Indiegogo work a little differently. And so of course, Kickstarter you can't purchase once they finish. There's no in demand. So Indiegogo really is the place. You want to back it, you still haven't backed it, Indiegogo is the place to back it right now. So I'm gonna put that link up in the chat here as we get started, just so we can go check that out. Maybe we'll take a look at the page here in a minute or so. But how's your experience been so far? Have you been enjoying the ride? Have you learned anything new, anything different from when you ran Mythics, for example?
It's a lot harder to run with out the pre-established audience.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that is a nice thing that you guys had built up with Mythiverse, and so with your Mythics comics, it kind of fits in with one amongst many. So it is a little different when you're standing alone as a single series. That's very true.
Yeah.
And but I mean, I think you've reached pretty good successes, all that considered.
Oh yeah, this is the first time I've run a campaign on this account, and it's
interesting.
Yeah, it says on their first campaign.
I never noticed that, I guess, but yeah, you're right. I assumed you guys were always running them on a singular account for your other comics. I mean,
we had Mythoverse account.
Yeah, that's interesting. Huh. Okay. Well, yeah. No, that's. I bet that's a big change, man.
Yep.
Yeah, really. A lot more hustling going on, huh?
Oh yeah. And getting funded on the first day was great. Not first day, it was the first week.
First week, okay. And that is pretty epic. That's really interesting. Kind of makes me actually was interested about that because the Kickstarter launched really fast. Like a lot of people drawn to the Kickstarter pretty quickly. Like you said, you got funded within that first week there.
Yeah, so and awesome. Yeah, it was really weird that next to no one jumped from the mailing list to sign up for the Indiegogo to the Indiegogo. That was really weird.
Huh. Yeah, that's strange.
I mean, I did send an email to them, to all the backers, because I let them know. Because that's apparently what you're supposed to do with the emails that they give you. While Kickstarter, if you sign up for it, Kickstarter will let you know that the campaign's running. And it'll also tell you when the campaign's ending, too.
Very helpful.
Yeah. If I could take Kickstarter and Indiegogo and list them together, that'd be probably the perfect system.
indie kicker or go starter. I don't know. We'll have to come up with a new idea here.
Oh yeah.
No, that is interesting. They all have they both have their unique features and functions that make them kind of desirable to use in their own ways. I find myself leaning more towards the Indiegogo, but it's interesting that I say that because you've had more success on the Kickstarter this go around, so it's interesting.
Yeah, it's funny because if you launch on Indiegogo, you're not going to get a whole lot of support. But then again, it could also be that I've got both Indiegogo and Kickstarter running at the same time.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if next time if you experiment with just doing one or the other and see how your results compare to this round.
Yeah, I've got another title in mind I'll run
Test
on
the
Kickstarter.
waters.
Yeah, run the Kickstarter first and then run Indiegogo as soon as the Kickstarter ends.
Okay, that's an interesting idea too. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that would be pretty awesome. Well, nice, man. Well, of course, for those who don't know, the comic is about Maisie MacKinnon. She's a captain in the Solarian Alliance Astro Force, and she is on one of her first missions to go root out a bunch of space pirates. And I believe they've taken over a Terran ship and are wreaking havoc.
Yeah, that's one of the mysteries of the comic are they really space pirates or are they from the Terran Space Force? And they're just softening up the system for invasion.
Interesting. So it could be kind of a subterfuge in a way.
Yep. And
interesting.
There are certain things that will be in there that people will notice, such as Regina Rogowski.
Of Rag fame.
Yep. And like I said before, I have the support of Brian to do it. I would not have the character in there otherwise.
Brian would not let that one fly, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, that would not be pretty.
I don't think I want to go to war with him ever.
No one does. And if they do, they're not in the right heads.
Obviously not.
Either that, or they're just bringing a knife to a gunfight. So
True,
I
man.
mean,
they're asking for it at that point, man.
Kind of exactly.
Oh man.
Well, I can tell you of one person that tried finding a war against him on Twitter and failed miserably.
Yeah, I wonder who that could be. Probably someone who has like in the same initials as the Batman versus Superman movie, or very similar initials, I would think. But what do I know? I'm not too sure.
Wait, something like that happened?
No, we just
no. I mean, no, nothing like that happened. We'll never speak of it again.
I mean, there were some people. Brian's one of those guys that people like to take shots at for one reason or another.
The specific case I was saying has to do with snowmobiles, and I'll leave it at that.
Well, let's be honest. The guy did apologize.
Yes, that's true, which is very rare. Which
yeah,
is,
so it's very commendable.
Right? Yeah. Maybe maybe he's changing. Who knows? But no, it's very cool to have Regina in here, and I know you kind of have a lot of backstory with how how that makes sense and how it kind of fits into your futuristic world and whatnot. And there's even, I believe is there, if I'm not mistaken, is there a stretch goal or something to put more Regina in it or something like that?
Well, I was going to include a fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Terran soldiers fighting off Regina's soldiers, or pirate soldiers fighting against Regina's. But I couldn't think of a way that could make it work. So
not within the page frame or page limit you had, I'm sure.
It kind of messed with the flow of things.
Ah, okay, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, plus, so maybe it's something for a future book then?
Yeah. I mean, right now, I don't have much idea of how the extreme tactics would work out.
Hmm.
So what I have in here will contradict what comes in the future.
I see. So you'd rather just wait and make sure it all works out the way you want it to.
Yeah, make it not so much because I want to show more Regina. It's more that it makes sense.
Right. They're not. This isn't Game of Thrones final season here. We can't just
Oh God, no.
have Regina just jump a million miles at once here.
I mean, we could probably have a war ball in there because that'll actually make sense. We can't have
As long
Starbucks
as-
because they'll sue.
What's that?
We can't have Starbucks in there because they'll sue.
Oh God! Get that coffee cup out of here. Yeah, really. But no, I mean, it's okay. The story itself is, we kind of went over the basic premise, but the world is kind of set up. There's three major powers. I believe one lives on Earth, one lives on Mars, and the other in the asteroid belt. Am I right on that?
You're thinking about the Expanse.
I was worried. I was thinking about the Expanse. I was like, I knew you were a big fan of the Expanse, so I thought maybe it was similar or like a similar setup. But why don't you explain a little bit better for us here?
Well, basically, you have one power, which is the Solarian Alliance, a interstellar government that controls the majority of human space. You have the Terran Federal Republic, which is a split away group from the Solarian Alliance, and they just want their freedom while under another group's control. And then you have the third, which are unaligned worlds, who are basically worlds that aren't afraid to nuke themselves if they have to.
Interesting. So in your universe, it's more like the three powers have much more territory, these are multiple planetary, multiple planets at this point.
Yeah, basically humanity has spread out throughout the entire galaxy.
Okay.
And there are a lot of planets in the galaxy.
That sounds awesome. I like that idea. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You're right. It is a little different. I think in the Expanse they're not quite that expansive. I'm not sure. It didn't seem quite that much. No pun intended. But no, that's interesting, man. It's interesting. And then boiling underneath it all, there's like a kind of a new threat emerging, right? Or there's tensions growing.
Yeah, there's basically tensions growing between the two powers. They want to go to war again. And in a way, I kind of want to have this as a way of showing how interstellar governments don't really work out as well as, say, a federation would.
That's really interesting. I like that idea. I love the idea of bringing the political side into it in a sense, just because of like, how do governments who are thousands, maybe more like, planets apart, how do they communicate? How do they work together? How do they fight against each other? It's a pretty fascinating idea. I loved it. I would love to see that kind of play out.
Well, I've been kind of thinking about this, racking it through my head with it being quite a few years in the future. I know life has been expanded and everything, but how is the communication? Have we evolved from our teleband communications and like wireless communications going so far? Like, I watched this thing earlier talking about they think that they want to say like the first real television broadcast that we have that have been sent out and everything broadcasting, like our first ones have just finally reached 1 or 2 star systems. So what I'm thinking is they're more of an instantaneous kind of thing for longer travel time, or is there still kind of like what Star Trek was doing, and I think even Star Wars, where it did take a little bit of time for people to get messages? Have we evolved past that point, or is that still going on?
Basically, for when it comes to communication, you can have instantaneous communication within the star systems, but to actually get messages from one system to another, you'll have to use a courier system, kind of like an Interstellar Pony Express.
Oh God.
Okay.
Does
So
that mean
a
there's
little bit of snail mail, but possibly
mail.
quicker than snails.
Yep.
Space snail mail. Are there possibilities of intercepting these messages?
At this point, I can't think of any way of doing it. Maybe
Okay.
if a pirate ship or ship would intercept one of these ships and basically just take it over.
Kind of like how we actually are kind of seeing in this first issue, really.
Yeah.
And the Terrans, so remind me again. So what is the alliance between, or what is the relationship between the Terrans and the Astroforce, the Solarians?
What was it?
The Astra, like because I know in the MacKinnon, she's part of the Astroforce, and she's sent in to save the Terran ship, I believe is what you called it.
Yeah, to take it down, either destroy it or capture it.
Ah, so they're not there to help them.
Nope.
Ooh.
Basically, I'm also taking into the prize system that was used for, I guess, just about every navy until World War II, where if you capture a ship, you were paid extra.
Oh, that's interesting. And does it have to be captured in one piece, or is it destroyed down as well?
It has to be in one piece.
Oh, okay.
Basically, the whole system it was a pretty big plot point for a lot of the Napoleonic War era books, where the captain would be concerned with prize money.
That's funny. That's kind of like it makes me think of like the old pirate stuff too, like with privateers, and where they would get like commissions from the government and stuff to like take down pirates and capture ships and stuff.
Yeah, the last time prize money was paid out was back in World War II.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's interesting. Yeah.
mostly because there hasn't been a major naval
that's true.
major naval battle since.
That's true. That's a really good point. I mean, even because most battles aren't really naval battles these days, I guess.
No, it's basically against some country in the Middle East.
Right. Well, guerrilla I think guerrilla tactics have like kind of overtaken all of that. You're right. I mean, it's more like ground to ground to air, or ground stuff. But it's interesting. I never really thought about how much that distinction there. It's kind of a interesting fact. It kind of makes me think that like I've always loved that aspect of like the space battles, is how how they correlate to actual naval battles and stuff. With they talk about the ship starboard and aft and all these different things, and then like they have similar terms of how they operate. It's just kind of interesting. They even call them ships and stuff, and I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just interesting, man. It's
Well, if you think about it, I mean, it's still kind of like being in the ocean, but instead of a 2D plane, you're now on a 3D plane, to where you're able to boat around, and it's like, that still makes a lot of sense why they would call it.
It totally does. Yeah, it really does, man. Now, yeah, I mean, so would they be considered Navy then, or something?
Well, basically, you'd look at all these space. It's a certain kind of space force, really. It's interesting to see how many sci-fi series will come up with different names, such as with Star Trek, you got Starfleet. You have in Macross, UN Spacey. No relation to Kevin Spacey.
Thank God.
And with Gundam, you got the Earth
I've
Federation
seen that.
Space Force.
Yeah, and then and Xeon was it Xeon.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. You're right. There always there's the variations on it. It's very true. Or like even if you look at Halo, like the UNSC, they didn't have that.
Yeah, United Nations Space Command,
Yeah, there you go.
which, funny enough, was up until I think 2004 was the name of the U.S. the part of the Air Force that involved space.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome, dude. That's a better name, I think, than Space Force, to be honest with you. But that's no throwing shade here, you know.
Well, it's more like it's giving some recognition to Gundam,
Which one, the Space
the
Force?
original series,
Oh,
because
the original.
yeah,
Really?
Earth Federation Space Forces.
That's true. I guess that's interesting, huh? Oh my God. Have we cracked something here, man? The Space Force are a bunch of anime watchers, dude.
Are you trying to say that Trump is a Gundam fan?
Yeah, he's a total weeb.
I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it. Anime pushes you to act tough and everything.
Hey,
So
man.
maybe that's where he was getting it from. Much a
Mike,
little
it's
too
funny,
much
just
My
watching
Hero
way too much
Academia.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, even you were kind of inspired, I'm assuming, then by Gundam with the way you named your Astro Force, right?
Well, part of it has more to do with Space Battleship Yamato remake, where they called themselves the Cosmo Force.
Ah, yeah. Are they a bunch of Russians or something?
No, they're all Japanese.
Ah, that's good. Yeah,
I mean,
don't know what the
United
Japanese-
Nations, but they're all Japanese.
I'm not sure if they have a special name because I know Russians, they call themselves cosmonauts as opposed to astronauts. I don't know if Japan has a special name or not.
They might.
Interesting. But no, yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of good stuff about the space battleship Yamato. Are you kind of been inspired by that in your writing?
Yeah, something like that.
Nice. Would you say if you had to choose one of these two sci-fi space series, which would you choose? Would it be Space Battleship Yamato, or would it be the Galactic Legends of the Galactic Heroes?
Mm-hmm. I have to say that either of them, they can't really be compared because
really?
Yamato is more space adventure, while Legend of the Galactic Heroes is more of a Dune type of series.
we could probably do a whole podcast with you on Dune. I'm bet, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the new Dune movie's coming out. Are you gonna go see it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right? Yeah, that should be good, man. That's pretty awesome. Now, I'm not really familiar with Dune. I mean, I know it's sci-fi, but is it like a space? Is it like Star Trek, or what is it kind of like?
It's basically a science fiction political thriller series.
Okay,
basically,
interesting.
But it's an epic that stretches on for thousands of years.
Oh shit!
And you even get there's a lot of, in the same way that Lord of the Rings influenced fantasy, Dune has influenced science fiction to the point where
that's actually the most comparable thing that everybody that I've talked to about Dune too, because my brother loves the series and he's read the books, and when I asked him about it, he's like, okay, Lord of the Rings, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, it's basically that, just science fiction. And I was like,
damn, dude,
so it's a really long ass story that's nothing but science fiction. And he's like, yes. And I was
in terms of world building,
okay, sounds good.
A lot of world building, a lot of details.
Yeah. Instead of just being in one realm, you go. If I remember correctly, he told me it's more of like you visit like 5 or 6 sceneries, like planets or space systems, and like the story is it's not super complex, but it does get a little convoluted over time as the story goes on. But again, that was his opinion. That's not mine. I've never read it, so I'm going based off of his.
Well,
So I could be 100% wrong.
well, the problem is that Dune has never been finished.
What?
They never finished it because Frank Herbert died before he was able to.
Whoa.
And no, he was not George R. Martin. He did not wait and wait and wait and wait.
No, isn't there like 10 books or something like that?
Dude,
6.
Someone get someone in there, dude.
Okay.
They got to get someone in there. Get Brandon Sanderson here. Get
they did finish it.
Comparable? Oh, they did.
Oh, they claim they finished it because Frank Herbert's son, Brian Herbert, him and Kevin J. Anderson claimed that they found the outline to the Son of Dune novel, and they made it into 2 books, and they were terrible.
So basically the series has a really terrible ending.
Yeah, because I think what ended up happening was that Brian Herbert and Anderson came up with the idea of turning it into this expanded universe. So they did prequels.
Yeah, they have a lot of comics out, don't they, and stuff?
Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Well, that's too bad. I didn't know that he had passed away before finishing the series. I didn't realize that.
I think he passed away about a year or 2 after finishing the 6th book.
Damn. And how many had he planned? Was it the 10-book series?
7.
7. Oh my God! One more.
Yeah, it's kind of like how Robert Jordan died before finishing Wheel of Time.
Yeah, really, he was very close too. There was only 1 or 2 books, maybe, right?
It was 1 book, but Brandon Sanderson split it up
down to 2 books. Yeah, okay, that's right.
Now, my question for him is: did he at least get to see the fruits of his labor before he had passed, or is it kind of more like J.R.R. Tolkien and a few other writers where they passed on before they got to? Before they got to see how much of an influence they were.
Oh yeah.
Herbert actually worked on. I helped on the Dune movie.
Oh, okay. Wasn't the 1980 one, right?
Yep.
Oh, dope.
You could feel the sense of Frank Herbert in the dialogue, but the final product he did not really like. He did not like the ending. The final product was a disappointment in that they had to trim a 5-hour movie to 2.5 hours.
Man, too bad it wasn't released nowadays, where he could have just been like, you know what, I'm gonna come out with the Herbert version, okay? The Herbert cut.
What he was told by the producers was that they wanted to turn that footage into a miniseries. That never happened.
Well, hey man, I'm just super excited for the new Dune movie. I absolutely love the director's take on Blade Runner, so I'm super excited to see what he does with this other beloved property.
Yeah, from what I can tell, he's a huge Dune fan.
Nice. Dude, that's freaking awesome. And yeah, I know he wants people to go see it in theaters, so hopefully everyone who wants to can get back and go see it. I know I'm going to be seeing it in theaters.
If it's anything that has to be said, is that we learned that the majority of money is made. The majority of money made from movies is made in the theater.
Yeah, it makes sense. It really does. Yeah, the streaming thing was an interesting experiment, but I'm ready for it to be over.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I think movie theaters are on the way out, honestly.
I don't know.
When you look at the numbers, there was a lot of numbers, and yeah, because of COVID and everything, but I still think streaming is going to be taking over.
First, I'm not sure. I've heard some articles from different directors, like I think it was James Gunn maybe, or a few others, who are saying that they while they do agree with you on that point, like streaming is kind of blowing up right now, especially with the movies coming out so quickly. There's nothing that will ultimately replace the shared experience of the movie theater.
Nothing will be able to replace that, because it's an experience to go to the movie theaters with their friends.
It may become more niche.
But I think it's going to be more like going to the opera.
Yeah,
it's
it'll
going to
maybe
start
more
becoming
niche, that's
more
for sure. I
expensive
can
and
see it.
more luxurious,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak.
But
To
hey, man,
me, that's not
if
really
that-
a good thing.
I mean, whatever the case may be, I know I'll be there supporting it just because I already been back to my first movie, Godzilla versus Kong, and I ain't ever going back, man. It's like, gosh dang, dude, I missed this experience so much. Man, it's just a whole different level. You're in that dark theater, the giant screen, the loud sound.
Well,
Maybe you're there with
I
your
totally
friends.
get that. For me, it's the exclusion of outside sounds as well. And when you're at the movie theater, everybody's there for the same reason as you are most of the time. And they're usually quiet. Sure, you have some
True,
hecklers,
true.
you have some people talking, but that's
But for the
things that
most
you could
part,
deal with. It's the things that you can't deal with, like somebody mowing their lawn, or your
nah.
neighbors across the street arguing,
Yeah,
or your
really.
neighbors upstairs arguing, somebody throwing a birthday party. Those are the
Or the
things that
light
people
coming in through your
really hated
window.
about streaming. That's understandable. But push come to shove, people choose convenience over everything.
Yeah, man, it'll be interesting to see how that all play out here as you know, more theaters open up and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
it'll be very, very interesting.
Yeah, it will.
But yeah, so getting kind of back to MacKinnon Chronicles and stuff, you know, this is obviously just the first of a very big story. Have you already started thinking about what you know, for the next issue and all that? Have you already started planning?
I'm kind of recovering from this.
Just because it's a whole different experience for you.
Well, right now, what I'm not just talking about scripting wise. I'm talking more along the lines of why I had to build with that script, such as the entire world, all the details, why situation A affects situation B. You know, that kind of thing.
Like more like character-driven stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
And how that relates to the overall universe.
Nice, man. Well, yeah, that's pretty awesome. So the first one kind of sets the stage, and then the second one kind of really opens it up a little bit more.
Yep.
Nice, man. Yeah, that's really awesome. And of course, I'm not sure if we mentioned your artist last time. I should totally bring up his page here to share with everybody. I'm not sure we mentioned. I believe his name is Dane. Is that correct?
Well, it's Travis Martinez.
Travis Martinez.
Yep, Dane is.
Yes, that's right.
It's his handle.
That's right. That's what it was. So yes, Travis is a great artist. Really, really cool artist.
Very mellow too.
Really, yeah. Yeah, that's funny. How did you guys meet on Twitter? And just kind of.
No, I actually found. I think I found him on DeviantArt.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Dang.
Yep.
Yeah, that's nice, man. I love it when you can find different avenues like that.
Yep. Which is always fun, really.
Right? Yeah. I find a couple of my artists that way. I remember one person had emailed me a while back, asking if there was any work at Wicked, and then later down I was like, wait, wasn't that guy messaged me? And that ended up being my Dan with Endemic. So it's interesting how you don't even necessarily have people on your radar and they just pop up and boom, you're like, oh, that's the one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Fun.
Yeah, dude, I love it. I mean, I'm sure you feel the same way, but I love getting new art back and new previews and stuff like that.
Oh, definitely.
There's almost no better feeling, kind of.
No better feeling, but hey, it's great. You get to see what you enjoy getting turned into art.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I love it. It's like you can imagine something in your head, and then boom, it's there on the page because of this wonderful artist, and oftentimes it's even better than you could have imagined.
Oh, absolutely.
So here's Dane's page here, or I keep calling him Dane. Here's Travis's page here. Awesome banner, freaking cool looking. Everyone should definitely go check him out. Again, the handle is at Dane1323, so go check him out on Twitter. Give him a follow. Oh, look at that! He retweeted us. How nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome.
So does Travis do all of the artwork, or do you have somebody who designs the ships and he correlates it into his style, or is he the designer of the ships as well?
Killbox did the designs for the ships,
Okay.
and
Nice.
which he did. I did a special variant cover as well.
Oh, really? Have you teased that one yet? Have you shared that off?
Yeah.
Nice. Which one did he do? Which cover was that?
It was a Killbox variant.
That's right. Yeah. The one with where she's it's kind of like the full body portrait of her in her spacesuit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one. Is it on the Indiegogo page here?
Yes, it is.
Oh, nice. We'll have to take a look at that.
We got colored as well.
Oh, ooh, fancy. We're looking at some of the ship designs also by Killbox. Just bringing another level of really awesome art and just just the next level of detail there.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, man. What I love about them too is when you look at them, a couple things about it really. When you look at them, they all have probably because they're all designed by the same person, but they feel like they belong in the same universe, which I really love. But more than that, I love that they don't feel like they're copied from Star Wars or Star Trek or something. They feel like they really feel unique. I love that. Honestly, like you know what I mean? Like I don't think I've seen designs like these before. It's freaking cool. Like there's elements you can see that are familiar, but there's so many new elements too. Of course, you got the dice models.
Yeah. You can tell that he looked at a wide range of influences and different concepts before even making it.
I think you're right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And even this is something I've always been fascinated about because when I first learned about it in Gundam, where like it's like essentially like I think theirs is a different, theirs is maybe a little different of a setup. Theirs is like a cylinder, a similar concept, I believe. It's a freaking cool idea. I mean, who wouldn't want to live in a giant space station like that? It's like man, that's like Elon Musk. That's like what Elon Musk wants right now.
No, I think he wants people on Mars.
Yeah, true. One step at a time. And here we have the variant cover for Killbox. And you can see he has one of his ship designs there in the background with Maisie in front.
Yep.
Yeah, that turned out great.
And you said you now have a colored version of it, right?
Yes, I do.
Very nice.
Basically, one of the things I like doing is if you're one of the first people that did fan art for MacKinnon Chronicles, I'm paying you to do stuff.
I'm sure they appreciate that, huh?
Oh, yeah. And it also helps build support among your fans, too.
True. Yeah, no, that's very true. Like, not only are you bringing people back in who have, done work for you, but you're bringing in their fans, and you're bringing them on board as well, and consistently giving them work is definitely a good thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, the comic again, it has a couple days left. I'm gonna scroll up here real quick. So we're at 53%, $531. So we have 28 hours officially. So actually, more like a day and 4 hours. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, very down to the wire here. So if people want to back it, definitely get on top of that. I'm gonna throw the link up on the screen again there for you guys. But there's like a ton of cool perks, and now the estimated date is currently August 2021. Is that still ringing true for you?
Yes, unless something happens, like Travis has health problems.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very doable for us to get that time period done.
Very nice.
Especially with how fast Comics Wellspring is.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it's like it was such a hard decision for us to move from our old printer because we wanted to give them that loyalty, but it was the best decision we ever made. It was, yeah, it couldn't be helped at that point just because there was too many delays and whatnot.
Yeah, so I gotta think about your business too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's right. At the end of the day, that's what's most important. And if he's holding us back, that's not good. So, we've loved working with Comics Wellspring. They've been pretty much on point on everything and really fast with deliveries and shipments. And so, yeah, I really enjoy working with them.
And they're really enjoying the Kickstarter stuff too, because they started up their own discount service,
which is so cool. Like if you put the special banner they have on their website, you can put it up on your Kickstarter or Indiegogo, and they give you 15% off the price of your printing, which is a big deal, especially on big orders. I mean, that all adds up. And
yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, no, it's very cool. And yeah, I mean, they also have ad discounts as well if you put ads in, and so it's good. There's a lot of great stuff working with them, and like I said, the quality is always just perfect. They know what they're doing for sure, which makes sense. They're part of Greco Printing, so they're an imprint of a larger company, and so they've got a big back. They've got good backing behind them. They've come from experience. So yeah, it was a cool find. It was actually one of our 2 recommendations we got from our old printer.
Huh. Wow,
that's kind of cool. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's cool. It was no hard feelings too.
Right? Yeah. No, he was very cool. But he's like, yeah, no. He's like, I totally get it, man. It's understandable. Hopefully I'll be able to get this under control at some point. But here are a couple of the other guys who I think maybe similar price range and quality. I think so. Yeah. No, that was very good. He was a good guy, definitely. And at some point, if he we check back in with him and see if what has changed, maybe we can go back to him. But for now, I think we're gonna stick with Comics Wellspring just because if it's not broken, why fix it, right?
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. And hey, they gave me these cool handy dandy notepads in my last order. I've been using those to take notes at work. Huh. That's kind of cool. Oh man. But no, that's awesome, man. So August, that's pretty fast. That's a pretty good turnaround.
It is.
That'll, I think, reassure people, that they're going to be getting these books fast and they're going to be good quality, and hopefully that then they'll be on board for all the upcoming comics you have coming out, like the more MacKinnon Chronicles, and I know you have another project in the works as well, I think.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you give them a reason to back your work, they'll keep coming back.
Exactly. Yeah. Keep showing them good quality books, good customer service, and that goes a long way. It really does. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people say, if you have a late campaign, as long as you keep us updated, then we're all good.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there are some campaigns that won't do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Even when they're given that advice.
Hey man, if you're given good advice and you refuse to take it, that's just on you at that point.
Yeah,
there's nothing you can do if you're not going to listen. But no, it's true. We always consider here at Wicked, backers first is a motto we'll always live by. You'll never see a Wicked book go out to a person who didn't back it on a crowdfunder get it before those who did.
Yeah, thing is, I'm a backer of the Beltech Foundation Kickstarter, and they've been very straightforward about the problems they've been having with their Chinese printers.
Oof. Yeah, Chinese printers, man. Like, I've heard a lot of bad problems without those guys.
Every single deadline they're given, they never hit.
Oh boy. Yikes. Yeah, that's honestly what I would never really want to print overseas. Even with the cost you could save, it's like, I don't know, there's something about printing American that it just feels right. It feels more appropriate. I don't know.
Well, thankfully the guys behind Beltech decided to open up their own miniatures company.
Oh wow.
Yep.
That's
That was
wild.
how bad the experience was.
Guess they learned their lesson, huh?
Yep.
Wow, that's wild. Yeah. Now, are there any, obviously we talked a lot about Star Trek and other kind of sci-fi elements of that nature, but I also know happen to know you're a big fan of BattleTech. Did you take any of that influence into MacKinnon Chronicles? Are we going to see any mech stuff?
Yeah, for the most part, probably not. The
Okay.
only big thing that I took from Valtech was the whole there's really no alien races, with the exception of the ones that I've told you about in previous.
The one where there's
I
evidence of these
yeah,
ancient beings.
races,
Hmm. Hmm.
and they're
Well, it's
used to
interesting.
keep these interstellar governments afloat.
Ah, okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought you would have had to sneak in like a Gundam reference or an homage to like a mech thing, but no, that's a good choice. I think it kind of I don't necessarily know if it grounds it more, but I don't know. It makes it feel more like in the Star Trek realm, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
You know.
I yeah. There's another project that I haven't really gotten to talk about, but it's basically when Killbox decides to is able to when he feels comfortable about drawing comic pages, we'll be doing a mecha series.
Ah, okay. There you go. Okay, now we're talking. I was like,
Yep.
there's got to be mech somewhere around here.
It'll
And he
come
does awesome
eventually.
mechs, dude. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh. Did you show me? You showed me some of that stuff, huh? A while back.
Uh, yeah, I showed some off on Twitter
Yeah, I
before.
remember that. That's a sweet design. If I'm remembering it correctly, I believe. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does really good mech stuff. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yep.
Dude, it knows his machines, man.
Oh, definitely.
It's funny. Yeah, he really could be like an engineer, an architect, or something, man. I know. I think we talked a little about that before, but that is funny. And
Yep.
well, that's awesome, man. So we are getting close. We have about 13 more minutes here. What's your kind of game plan for the next 2 days? What do you have on the docket?
Basically, just to promote the campaign as much as I could. Okay. I was, I really tried to, what I really wanted to do was do another month and get the channels that I wasn't able to when the Kickstarter was around up
Mm-hmm.
and running. But but Indiegogo had a bug in it, and unfortunately, that screwed that over.
Yes.
Fortunately enough, fortunately enough, that it's for the most part we made well over the amount for both campaigns.
Very nice.
Yep.
So in this case, regardless of how the Indiegogo goes from here, these everyone should be getting their books then. It sounds like.
Yep.
Nice, man. So, in fact, I feel like almost that should be an incentive for those who are like maybe on the fence about, oh well, then it's a Indiegogo and hasn't quite got the goal and it's a flexible goal. But the fact is, the actual goal needed to make the book has been met already. So anything you're adding on, if you haven't backed the book but you're curious about it, no, you can rest assured that you're going to get a book. You're going to get something. You're not going to. This isn't a risk at this point. At this point, you're guaranteed. So it's a really good time to back in these last 2 days, help push them, get them as far as they can go. And you won't have to worry about, not getting a product. We've delivered very fast in these last few campaigns. So I feel like, if anything, it'll be the fastest wicked delivery we've had for, all 5 years that we've been around. So yeah, man, I think please go check it out. I'd love to see them reach their goal on Indiegogo as well.
Oh, definitely.
Well, yeah, really. I bet you'd love to see that, wouldn't you? That would be pretty cool, man. It'll be
It really will.
yeah, I feel like it'd be interesting to see just the results, like from a perspective of how to run a campaign and running 2 campaigns at once and all that stuff. It's like really good information.
There's a lot that you have to learn throughout the entire month, as well as adjust for possible problems.
No, that's very true, man. Yeah, I like that aforementioned glitch with the extension. Who could have seen that coming?
Yeah, but it happens.
Yeah,
not...
and it just means all we have to do is keep pushing it as hard as we can this last day or so. And
and it doesn't mean that the platform is trash. It just means that there's some things that happen.
Yeah, exactly. Things like that happen every now and then. It's all you can really do is adjust and keep going.
Exactly.
But yeah, we'll definitely be pushing it hard tomorrow. I know, trying to get as many people aware of that it's the last day as possible, because I know a bunch of people signed up for the pre-sign up who haven't necessarily been able to back yet. So it'd be great to get some more of those folks on and let them, get them aware of its ending coming up here.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And so again, just to reiterate, guys, it's a $531 out of the $1,000 goal, so that's 53%. And currently sitting at, let me refresh this here. Last time it looks like it was at 28 hours, and about 28 hours still left here. So just a little over a day, and then it's gone. And of course, at some point it may become available through future campaigns or on the store. But for now, if this is, if you're really interested in the story, it really does help to get it made. So please go check out the book and whatnot. It would really, really help out Matt and his team there. So now, Matt, is there anything you want to tell people about the book? Anything, any kind of thoughts on those people who are still on the fence?
I have to say, if you're on the fence, there's no, and you're worried about political pandering, there is none of that. It's a space adventures book.
Awesome.
There's nothing that will date a book faster than political events.
True, very true. References and political stuff are both like dated very quickly.
Yeah, you remember the show Lil Bus?
What is it called?
Lil Bus?
Lil Bus?
Bus.
I don't think so. I've not heard of that one.
Exactly. It's a show that was about George Bush and his administration as kids.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Are we talking Bush Senior or Bush Junior?
Junior.
Oh my God. I had no idea. That's wild.
Yeah, I said, nobody remembers that.
Hold up, did it? Oh man, that's funny. That is very funny. Jeez, yeah, you're right. No, that's a very good point. And I think people, honestly, in today's environment, especially with like the big two and stuff, people are kind of sick of what the mainstream is doing. So I really feel like people are, just wanting to get back to basic stories and fun storytelling. So I can definitely understand, where you're coming from that, and where, a good chunk of the audience is coming from with that too. It's definitely understandable. It's actually one of the reasons I read comics. Biggest reason is for escapism, and so I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, and there's some people that are pretty much pricks about it too.
Oh yeah. You can say that again, man. That's another. I mean, that's cool. It's like when you get MacKinnon Chronicles, you're getting a story that's got great characters, great world building, and it's focused on building all that out and not really trying to bring in all that any unnecessary commentary on top necessarily. So yeah, that's pretty cool, man. And on top of that, you got epic space battles. You got gingers. I mean, what more can we want, people? Come on, people. We're giving you everything here: space battles, explosions, gingers. What more, please? No, it is pretty awesome, man. I love the comic, and like I said, I think I've said this before, but it's one of the ones we've been looking forward to the longest, I think. So it's definitely been hyped. We're hyped for it, man.
Yep,
Oh, man.
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you taking out your time of your day here to speak with us. And again, final day, a little over a day here. So it's the final chance to back the book. It doesn't look like if they reach their goal, they're obviously going to get Indiegogo. They can go to In Demand. But if it doesn't get to In Demand, then tomorrow truly will be the last day. So please don't hesitate to back it if you really like what you see. And just know that there's an epic story ahead, and it's just the beginning here. So it all starts with this first issue. So please go check it out, guys. We're really excited for everyone to back the book and to get this thing out there. Like I said, August is the projected time frame, and so it should be pretty quickly, just a few months, and you'll have the book in your hands. So very, very exciting. Now, Matt, where can people follow you online so they can check out all your stuff and make sure that they can follow all your other projects as well?
You can follow me at Matt Trin on Twitter, and that's the only social media site I'm at.
Nice. Hey, man, that's kind of like us. We try to get into minds. We quite haven't figured that one out yet.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
It tends to vary for person to person.
Yeah, really. I don't know. For me, Twitter I like this. I like the setup of Twitter, I guess. I don't know. Something about the interface that I enjoy.
Reminds me more of Facebook.
Yeah, I can see that. You're right. It's that combination of the text and the image. I can't quite wrap my head around Instagram for some reason. I never know what to exactly post on there. Like, should I be posting pictures of my dogs? I'm not sure. What am I doing here? But yeah. Well, awesome. Thanks again, man. It's been a blast talking with you, and I wish you all the luck here on this last day and few hours here. We'll be rooting for you. We'll be pushing for you on tomorrow and really sharing it out there. And yeah, I mean, whatever happens from here, I think you've confirmed that the books are going to get out there. So again, people can be reassured if you're thinking about backing Indiegogo, you will get a book, and so there's no worries there.
Even if I have to spend my own money too.
Damn, you heard it here, man. That's dedication right there.
I remember, I think it was in Star Trek V when Kirk asked Scotty if the ship's ready, and Scotty's remark was, "I'll have her ready, even if I have to get out and push."
I love that, man. That's awesome. I can just imagine it now.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you again, and thank you everyone. If you watched live or if you're watching on the replay, we definitely appreciate it. Leave us a comment or a like if you can, and more importantly, please go back the Indiegogo last day here. So really important. Could use all the help it can just to get it, even further past that goal, and just see them succeed even further. So we love Matt's project, so we just want to see him succeed. And thanks again, guys. We'll see you on a future episode of Campaign Countdown. And until then, please go check out the campaign. You're going to like what you see. Take care, guys. We'll see you later.